morning, good afternoon, good evening, my dear friends. This is VU3 Oscar Bravo Romeo, and here is Saro operating from southern part of India, Tamil Nadu. So this is Qatar Oscar 100 worldwide DATV net conducted on Sunday 13 UTC hours. Today there is the list. Me and next to me was Papa Yankee to Radio November, and next to Ed Golf 0 Mike Juliet Whiskey, and Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. Happy to see you, Gary, on the list. So only 4 people right now registered on the net. Maybe others can join with us soon. First of all, I thank Qatar Amateur Radio Society and AMSAT DL for given opportunity to using this fantastic satellite for ham radio users, and also I would say my thanks to BATC for the fantastic hardware and software support for the hams, and Fox 5 Oscar Echo Oscar Everest for the DATV firmware for Pluto, and Fox 5 Uniform India, and IS0 GRP for the patch files to use different variants on the DATV firmware. And also I thank Fox 6 Delta Zulu Papa JP for the Minitune software. There is many of them behind the screen. I don't know all of your names, my dear friends. So I say my thanks to you behalf of all amateur radio members. So today from my side there is no special demo from me. Today morning I conducted one DATV tech talk on our Indian local amateur radio club. It's a 45-minute session. It's going very well, and if I have time I can play the same video here, or else you can watch on the YouTube link already shared in the WhatsApp group. So thank you very much all my friends. So the over goes to Papa Yankee to Radio November 8. Very good morning to you. Thank you very much for the nice concept of the DATV net. Please go ahead, start your transmission. I will be standby.
Right, let's see if I can get some audio out of this. Okay. Hello everybody. Greetings from Brazil. Hello Saro. Glad to be here once more. Great signal, Saro, all the way from India, and I wish to say hello to all the participants this night today. To Mike, Golf Zero, Mike Juliet Whiskey, and especially to Gary, Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. Very glad to see you on the list, Gary. I hope your recovery is going fast and strong. So glad to see you. It's gonna be very nice to see you. Yeah, there is not much from here. I faced lots of problems with the DATV transmission this week. I don't know what happened. I made it's like a plane crash. I mean, I made a OBS upgrade, so it caused some trouble. I got trouble also with the network, so all sort of things. At the end, I just downgraded again OBS to an older version. And I think we'll stick with this older version. I really don't see any advantages on those new OBS versions. For me, I'm very, light user. I'm not a YouTube streamer or stuff like that. So I just use here for the DATV. And I think I'll stop updating those OBS softwares. But and other than that, everything seems to be working now. And Saro, I have news for you. Let me switch the camera. Yeah, it's here, Saro, finally. It is here, my friend. Yeah, long way, but finally it arrived in just one piece. This week I probably will start working on the assembly, putting a heatsink, and so I probably will make you a few questions regarding the max power input, and also for the PTT. Maybe the PTT is just to the ground. I don't have my Pluto without that additional board. That's something that I will need to ask you to send me also, but I don't have the Pluto with the PTT control, but I'll be implementing soon. Yep, that's the great news for this week that I can show to you guys. Other than that, I wish you all a great week, and thanks for this opportunity. So pass to Mike now, Golf Zero Mike Juliet Whiskey, to show his development on the DATV PA for 10 meters. So Mike, camera and microphone to you, Golf Zero Mike Juliet Whiskey. This is Papa Yankee 2 Romeo.
Okay, hopefully this will appear shortly. Good morning or good afternoon everybody, or good evening. Hope everyone's okay and having a good weekend. Good to see that Gary is coming on again. That's good to see. I was a bit concerned, but yeah, I haven't really done very much by the way of DATV in the last week. But I thought I'd show you some progress with the amplifier that I showed last week, at least in terms of testing it with DVB-T. So what's that they say about never do a live demonstration? That's challenge fate. So let's just show you the setup first of all. There's a ports down 2020, which is basically a Pi with a touch screen and an Adlam Pluto, and there's the power amplifier with the driver amplifier and the 2 meter to 10 meter transverter that I showed a while back, and you can probably see a bird through line in there as well. Now I'm just going to go over and turn things on. Turn on the 50 volt supply, click on the TX button, and you should see something happen in a moment with a bit of luck. So there you go. Now the spectrum does vary a bit with the bias level and the power, and I've got it set to 50 volts and 1 amp bias at the moment. And the output power is, well, I can't quite make that out, but it's just a little bit over 50 watts. That's a 500 watt slug. And that's DVB-T, which is quite a challenge. So we got nearly 40 dB worth of side lobe suppression, DVB-T. So hopefully that gives you an idea that it works and nothing untoward is happening. The power is drifting a bit because I haven't got any temperature compensation in there yet, and the module itself is only sitting on that heatsink with some heatsink paste underneath it, so it's not in a case. There is a fan blowing some air over it, but not great anyway. So that's what I've been doing. Other things, maybe I don't know, we'll maybe have another go round, and hopefully a few of the others will join us, and we will see. But let's then go back to me. I'll go and turn that off in a second, and I'll pass it round to Gary. So ZS6 Yankee India, G0MJW. Over to you, and I hope you're feeling good.
Okay, Mike. Let's just see that I'm hearing myself. Right, G0MJW with G4FFK to take it after this. ZS6YI. Good afternoon to all. Good morning to you there, Ed. Nice signal. And I'm pleased your amplifier arrived. Looks great. Yeah, I've got 3 on the bench at the moment, and I think another 3 in the background. But yeah, I think I've got the slightly more upgraded or modern board. I got 5 with the new board that arrived last week. Anyway, yeah, on the COVID side, we're getting towards the end of it, thank goodness. It has been quite a horrendous period of time. My wife still got it. She's about a week behind me. So it's still a little bit COVID-ified in this household. But anyway, we're getting close to the edge and the end. I must say, it's about 9 people that I've known very well for many years. In the last 2.5 weeks have passed away because of this, the new Delta strain. So it's really been horrendous, and the hospitals are inundated, and it is terrible. I think we lost 3 radio hams this last week in South Africa thanks to this COVID virus. So one mustn't take it lightly, and man, we were careful. We tried our best not to get infected and did everything that everyone says you must do, but we still got it. I think it's inevitable that most people will get it at one or other time. Anyway, be that as it may, it's a more positive note than what it was last week and the week before, and it's now just trying to regain a bit of strength, and then we'll be okay. I have nothing to show. I got a nice package from Sarah the other day with 5 amplifiers, and I put 3 of them out on the board. I want to just check their biases. I know they've been done to the level that we suggested some time back, and that gives a nice class A. And Mike, yeah, 40 dB is very good, very good. Can't complain about that at all. And it's about 40 as what I could read off the screen here. And so well done. It's all working great. That will be nice. I think I must come up on 10 meters sometime. Although my antenna is in a bit of a problem. We have wild monkeys visit us twice a day. And some of the more brave ones decided to go up the mast. It's 100 foot, well, just over 100 foot above ground, and started to swing on the KT-34XA's elements, 2 of them, and broke them. How that monkey didn't die, I don't know, because I don't know what happened to him, but I didn't find a monkey on the end. So he must have jumped into a tree or something. but two elements were through work hardening, you know, swinging on it and broke off. In any event, it doesn't matter. I must take the whole lot down and just refurbish. They've been up for a time. And my stepper, well, that had a horrible end. Cable broke. It was the Monster by Stepper on my second tower, also 100 foot up. And well, that was in 2011, and I haven't replaced it. I was going to repair it, and when I saw again some of our wonderful people stole the aluminium to go and sell for next to nothing. Right, nothing really else to comment on. Just been battling this darn COVID, but it's sort of to say behind us now almost. Martin, to you, sir. G4 FFK, will you take the over from Zulu Sierra?
Yeah, very good, Gary. ZS6YI and the gang. G4FKK returning. Yeah, and I'll echo what everyone else has said, Gary. It's great to have you back on the screen here. Got you on the big screen today, and it's a good picture from everyone, so that's good. Not a huge amount to report here, other than I was going to show you some pictures. I have been fiddling about with my new Bullseye LNB, which I think I may have shown some people this anyway. And you probably remember I was using this modified Octagon LNB. You can see it's got a bit of wear and tear on it where it's been out in the elements. And I always seemed very successful to get about 2 dB less MER on the beacon than everyone else. Anyway, I've got one of the Bullseyes, and Mike MJW very kindly printed me some 3D printed a slightly offset clamp for the patch feed, 22mm patch feed pipe, and also one of the new lids for the Bullseye, which strange enough is about 22mm diameter, so there's no major surgery to do on the Bullseye. So I initially replaced that and I got about half a dB more, so I then spent a very great deal of time actually getting the focal point right on the dish, which is much more fussy than I thought it might be. And thanks to Mike and Dave GKQ for pointing that out to me. So thanks for that. So I now got I average about 9.3 MER on the beacon these days. I'm sure that there's more could be done. Ed, interesting on your report on the OBS upgrade. OBS keeps telling me I need to upgrade it, but I haven't done yet, and I don't think I will after your experience. I've been continually upgrading VLC. I use the Winter Hill receiver here, and VLC a couple of versions ago was a bit fragile, but I'm on the very latest one now. It's still not. Every now and again I'll lose one of the instances of VLC, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. So yeah, updating is not always the best thing, is it? Glad the amplifier's working, Mike. That looks good. And Bert was asking on the chat whether that'll be available to the BATC. I've actually got some hopefully arriving this week. Some boards that Mike sent me the Gerbers for, and I got 5 of them printed. So hopefully we'll be able to prove they work, and they may end up in the shop. I don't know what Mike's plan is for that. Diddle-diddle-dee. I think that's it. Other than the mention, yeah, you showed me a picture of the monkeys on your dish once, I think, Gary. That's blooming nuisance. I'm plagued by foxes and squirrels, and they're quite good at damaging coax and things, but I don't think they'll bring the aerials down. Famous last words. Right, okay. let's have a look, see if anyone else has popped up on the list. Not that I can see, so I'll put it back round to you, Saro. VU3 OBR, this is Golf for Foxtrot Kilo Kilo. Finding the right button and standing by.
Yeah. Waiting to listen my own audio. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, good morning, Gary. Happy to see the PA finally arrived to you. And after the PA, Gary suggested some more modification on the BIOS settings. Now the current PS, the latest PS will come with the new BIOS setting what Gary and Leon suggested to me. But yours is very old, so you have to modify if you need, or else you can use it. Just you can use it for from your Pluto directly. No need any free amplifier in between. You can use maximum 0. More also that can be work, but 0 is better. Gary will explain why we are going to the minus level, because of the furious and noise from the DATV signal. So that already we did lot of warranty on the PA head. So as much as possible use it the low gain from your Pluto. So after the new final settings, you can get it like that. In the old board, just you have to change only 2 resistors. That I can guide you later on by WhatsApp ad. And Mike, yeah, very good afternoon to you, Mike. So the PA is very fine, Mike. Nice to see you again here. And Gary, glad to hear on you on the live now. So happy to see you on your face after 2 weeks, Gary. And happy to see that. And Martin, yeah, nothing special here, Martin. It's fine signal from you. It's fantastic. So I am going to pass the over to Ed for the second round. Then Ed pass it to Mike. Mike pass it to Gary. Gary pass it to Martin for the second round. Please go ahead, Ed. This is VU3 OBR standing by.
Okay, Roger, Saro. Hey, Gary, glad to see you. You look good. It seems a little thinner, maybe. And very well, sad and funny, the history about the monkeys hanging on your KT-34 Yagi. Yeah, I can imagine your feeling. And I live outside the city here. We have little monkeys, but we call saguis, but they usually don't come inside the houses. What I have here in the most of the boxes that I put outside that carries amplifiers and stuff that usually gets a little hot is spiders. Yeah, every time that I'm going to open one of the box, there is spiders inside. But so far they are okay. Seems the equipment don't bother with them. You just need to be careful though when you open the boxes because some of them may cause you some trouble. Avoid to touch them. A mic QSL body amplifier looks very nice. Excellent, very excellent. I really surprised that you guys can do the ATV on 29 megahertz over there. Very nice. Martin, hi Martin, nice to see you. Yeah, maybe Martin, you can tell me and help me to understand. I see many people talking about these bullseye LNB. Many people are using them. I see the specifications from it, and it says that it has a TCXO of 2 ppm. Well, 2 ppm for the narrowband, for the SSB transponder, is kind of useless. I mean, it will vary a lot. I mean, obviously, it is better than the original quartz crystal that comes with the LNBs, which is, I don't know, 20 ppm maybe. Which will vary much in a much broader spectrum, but 2 ppm is still not enough to produce a stable reception on the SSB transponder. So I'm not sure why people like this bullseye and NB. What is good for? Maybe for the ATV reception? I don't know. So maybe you can help me to understand. All right then. So let's go to Mike now. I think it's Mike. If I can find the list here. Yes, Mike. Golf Zero, Mike Juliet, Whiskey.
Okay, just waiting for my image to appear. I really need to put in more iframes, I think. Yeah, okay, to address things in a vague order. Gary, great to see you looking well. I'm really sorry that you had to go through all of that. But, you've come out stronger by the look of it. It's certainly tragic and to lose so many amateurs, and I guess the age profile of amateurs doesn't really help in that regard, because generally tend to be the older generation, at least they are in the UK. On the 10 meter amplifier, yes, we do have a wideband segment, although whether we'll really be able to use it practically, I don't know. I notice 10 meters is often open to Brazil, so you never know. We could perhaps do that. But I don't know what the rules are in different countries around access or not to the band. But there has been a wideband area designated. I think if we keep fairly narrow, 125 kilosymbols, 250 kilosymbols, we should be okay. But we will see, and it's experimentation, that's what it's all about. Now you asked about the bullseye and the 2 ppm, Ed. Let me just show you this. Try and hold it up in front of the camera. This is a bullseye, and just a standard LNB like any other. This is the thing that Martin was talking about. It's an adapter that sits on there and then goes into the bullseye, and then beneath that there's an offset thing which mounts on your dish and clamps up. Not quite tight enough, but I can modify that. It's just an STL file. So that's what the bullseye is using, and it's very convenient and nice and neat. But it just sits like that. But the 2 ppm is the accuracy, the absolute accuracy of the frequency. It's actually usually a lot better than that. It's within 10 kilohertz, and it stays within that range over a fairly wide temperature range, not the full temperature range, and it's more than stable enough for SSB, so it is okay. FT8 you might have some issues, but for SSB it's okay. Lots of people are using them now, and Colin G4EML has written a program. He's found out from the manufacturers how you do the frequency offset correction, because they're tunable in software to get them onto the right frequency. It uses a microcontroller inside, and it has an ADC or a DAC, and it uses that to tune the TCXO onto frequency. And he's produced a board, and I've produced a copy of it in KiCad as well, which I was doing yesterday, that allows you to move it up and down in frequency and get it tuned onto frequency. So that's really good. You don't then need a GPS lock. And one of the issues we found with GPS locking a lot of the LMBs is the phase noise is very high. And while that doesn't affect SSB, it can affect DATV quite a lot. And you can lose 2-3 dB very easily with phase noise. So that's one of the other areas, and it tends to impact the wider band signals more than the narrow band sometimes. So you find the beacon MER drops a lot, but the narrow band ones don't, or vice versa, depending on exactly what your phase noise is. Anyway, sorry to talk technical. I should really not do that so much. It's not a good idea. But let's see how Gary is doing then, and let's pass it round to him. I don't think I forgot anything, but if I did, sorry about that. Oh, there was one thing, which was the dielectric constant of dead spiders. I think is very similar to that of air, so you should be okay with your dead spiders. So over to Gary, and let's pass it over to you and see how you're doing again. So ZX6 Yankee India and G0MJW.
Okay, 100% in my mic. Just get this audio going here. There we go. A G0MJW and the group ZA6YI. Oh, please don't ever stop talking the technical side, because that's the draw card for me to be on the net every Sunday. There's a lot to be learned, and so that's the enjoyable part of it, for me anyway. And yes, Ed, OBS can throw you around a lot. I've had issues on updates, but I've kept updating, and the last one I haven't bothered with because everything's working. So at this point of the game, why mess around with it? I'm quite satisfied that it seems to be working okay. So I'll just leave it as it is. And yeah, I was just reading what old Bert came up. Hello, Bert. Pity you're not on today. PA3 AOD. But nice to see you on the other forum there. And also my dear friend Frank, DD0CW. Good to have you there. And of course, Matthias is also listening. And so it's nice to have him on. In fact, Matthias has helped me quite a bit. I've got to give a talk this coming Saturday. And so Matthias said, listen, I've got a presentation virtually handmade, almost for what I'm going to be discussing. So there's a lot of lovely photographs, saved me a lot of time. So Matthias, thank you very much indeed for that. That helps a lot. And I won't have to prepare or take as much time to prepare as normal. Yeah, we have this little group, and we always get roped into giving presentations. I was actually thinking, Mike, of asking you, one day we go, let's say, on 500 or maybe 1,000 megasymbols or 1 megasymbol, and you give us a talk on how you developed the potty. That will be something interesting to have our guys look at, and doing it via DATV. And I'll just record it and then play it back. So be warned, if you don't mind. Martin, good to hear you again. Excuse the frog in the throat, guys. And yeah, better lighting this time. We didn't have to go sit up to the screen to see you. So you got the lighting sorted out since I was last on. Wonderful. And of course, Sarah, nice to see you again. We have been, Sarah's been often in contact on WhatsApp, as has Martin. So we appreciate all the messages and encouragement. Anyway, it's behind, and let's look forward. Now, I suppose we'll have to get inoculated after this. But one wonders, you know, with this inoculation, I see there's such a lot of upheaval and moaning about it, and certain types made in India they don't want to use or don't want to recognize in Europe, so they must settle that down. But boy, I don't want this again. Not in a hurry. Right, with that, Martin, to you, Golf 4, Foxtrot Kilo Kilo, to take it from ZA6 Yankee India.
Yeah, fine business, Gary. Let me just, where are we? Oh, it's not too bad. I was just going to poke the power up a little bit. Might help Sarah, who is suffering from heavy rain syndrome at the moment. So hopefully you're still seeing most of us, Sarah. I think, by the way, I saw you testing lip sync earlier, Gary. Let me just have a quick, I think mine's miles out now. It does seem to drift from day to day, doesn't it? Yeah. I think the sound's coming out before the vision at the moment. But anyway, all very good. And yeah, Saro, the PAs look very nice. I couldn't quite work out. I did briefly read something about them on the one of the forums somewhere. I can't work out whether they're homemade by you or commercial ones that have been modified, but they look very neat. And okay, Ed, on your, was it the Sarquis monkeys? It sounds a right pain in the neck. The foxes here at the work, I mean, they're only small, but they create havoc in the garden. I'm trying to build this workshop, and I'm putting brick lines down, you know, nice horizontal, exactly 90 degrees. Working around them, and then I come back the next day and the foxes have chewed through them all. You should hear some of the language that comes out here. My garden's not really big enough for a shotgun, but I'd quite fancy one. Anyway, shouldn't talk about the wildlife like that. Yeah, Ed, I think Mike answered any point I was going to make about the bullseye, and I can certainly confirm that it's fine on narrowband. I was quite surprised. My one is about 17 kilohertz off nominal frequency, but as Mike was saying, Colin EML has written some software to address that, or a bit of firmware with an Arduino. So I'm probably going to knock one of those up on a bit of Vero board, Mike, because I think hopefully you only need to use it once. And the phase noise is very tricky. My old Octagon here that I used to use, which generally speaking is very good, but I'd modified it to take 25 megahertz external reference in, and I did a lot of playing about with that. And Mike's absolutely right. My first attempt was using an SI5351 fractional synthesizer, generating 25 megs. And I lost about 2 dB of MER of the small amount I had in the first place, just due to the phase noise. I find it quite difficult to measure phase noise here. I was shown how to do that the old-fashioned way with tight filters and things, but clearly it wasn't good. I then obtained a Leo Bodnar, and that's better than the SI5351. I can't remember what chip it uses in there. It's not the same chip, but the TCXO in the bullseye is it's obviously generated by a crystal somewhere, and it seems to have very little phase noise. And I did a lot of testing with it on the narrowband transponder, Ed, and it works very well. Yeah, you can lock the receive side anyway, and my Pluto is locked to 40 megahertz from the Leo Bodnar at the moment, so on the transmit side it didn't drift too much. Anyway, yeah, Mike, we've definitely got to try, because you're only up in Oxfordshire, aren't you? So I reckon we should get, I don't know what size area you've got for top band, but I've got a half wave up, so it gets out quite well. So I should think even during the daytime we should be able to get some sort of signal between us, and it would be fun to try DVB-T on top band. That'd be very amusing, very interesting and worthwhile experiment, I mean. And I think top band might be a bit noisy after dark with all the beacons. There's quite a lot of people on top band still these days as well, which is good. Gary, I was looking at the equipment on the shelf behind your left shoulder, I think. And was that a Hallicrafters radio you've got on that shelf? I couldn't quite work it out. It just made me slightly nostalgic. My first ever bit of commercial kit for amateur radio was a Hallicrafters HT32B. Someone came on with a very wide bandwidth and knocked all the signals down. So hopefully you didn't lose a Sarrow. Anyway, that looked nice, and yeah, good luck with the talk in the club. And yeah, I would absolutely second. In fact, I might even come to South Africa to see that talk, Gary, if you can get Mike to do one on the patch feed, the patch feed. That would be, I'm sure, extremely interesting. So heed the warning, Mike, as it were. And yeah, I'm very glad you're getting over the COVID, and I hope Lorna is much recovered very quickly as well. And I didn't realise you hadn't had the vaccinations yet, Gary. I wonder if that's just lack of supply or the worry that seems to be generated. I've had both of mine, and I'm still convinced they gave me a placebo because it didn't hurt. I had no side effects, and my arm didn't ache for days afterwards, which seems to be the usual complaint with the AstraZeneca one, at any rate, with the people I know. Anyway, as Mike was saying, it's very tragic to lose anyone, but you know, we obviously take the radio amateurs passing worse, possibly. Right, that'll probably do for me. So if you're there and able to copy Sarrow, I'll put it back to you, and thank you ever so much for running the net. Great to see everybody, and anyone else who's watching, have a very good day. This is G4 Fox King King, passing transmission to VU3 OBR.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Martin. Yeah, now I am copying. Thank you very much. Well, and D0, but I am happy to receive all of you, and also help up our Robert to IS0 GRP. Link is there for spare Martin, no problem to listen. So we have another user, VU3 Fox.Mike. Chan, please go ahead, start your transmission. I will be standby, Chan.
Good morning, Edie. Good afternoon. Good morning, Beno. Sorry, yeah. Good afternoon, Mike. I am referring old list. Good afternoon, Mike, Gary, and Martin. I think this time my transmission is working. Last time I was only on the listening mode due to heavy rain at my QTH. Nothing else. I have not prepared this time, but Gary back again on the net. Thanks God, he recovered early. So main problem that for last 1.5 years, almost I have gone only two to three times out of my building for others. Otherwise, I stay at home only due to this dangerous COVID situation. Anyway, very good today's QSO, and nothing new, but I am wearing this my traditional Indian dress today. So as per I think who suggested, maybe ED suggested to do something new. And also I am purchasing this bull size for last 1 year. I don't know what to do with this. If I can use for transmission. It was purchased 1 year back only for reception on this QO-100 DATV. All they are using with this eccentric washer. If possible, I will also try on this net, DATV net. And anyway, nothing else. 73. I will stop my transmission. Saru, please start your final over.
VO3 Fox, Mike, VO3 OB here. Yeah, good evening, Chan. Anyway, you are coming very nicely, Chan. That's a very good signal again from you. Here also heavy raining now. Just my RX was little dropped, and somewhere I managed with the YouTube link, and sometime it's RX fine. Now my own RX is fine. It's a D2 now. It's fine. And yeah, this is Qatar Oscar 100 worldwide DATV net. I am VO3 Oscar Bravo Romeo Saro from India. So anybody want join the net, please go ahead, start your transmission. I will be standby for a couple of seconds. Krish, thank you for joining the net, Krish. Yeah, there is no audio. Delta VO3 OB here. Very good evening. So there is no audio from your transmission, Chris. If you want, try again. Please ping me again for next turn, Chris. Just I want to say hello to you. It's a very nice signal, copyable signal from you, Krish, but no audio. If you want to try, please go ahead, start your transmission again. I'll be standby, Chris. VO2 Echo Lima Delta, VO3 OBR.
Okay, very pleasant. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Sorry for the delay. I have not planned today to join, but somehow I don't want to miss it. And good morning, Ed, Papa Yankee 2, Radio November. Good afternoon to Mike, Golf Oscar Mike Juliet. Good afternoon to Gary, Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. Golf for Foxtrot Kilo Kilo Martin and Chan. And thanks for letting me in. And very pleasant good evening. At least I could make it today. I'm very glad. I don't know. My signal strength has come down. I have to, because I was not prepared. I'll increase the power a little bit. Now I increased the power. I don't know. It is okay now. And thank you very much. I'll have a very nice Sunday evening. And 73. Thank you all round. BU2 Echo Lima Delta signing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. Nice signal on the last over. It's nice to hear you. At least you joined with us on the net. Nice signal, Krish. At the end of the over, reached the affordable level, and fantastic quality audio and everything fine, Krish. This is Qatar Oscar 100 Worldwide DATV net. Anybody want to join, please go ahead, start your transmission. I will be standby for a couple of seconds.
I think I'll take it, if you don't mind, Sarah. I just want to answer Martin quickly. And hello to you, Chan, and hello to you, Kirsch. Nice signals, both stations today. Very good. It's been a very good run. I think all over we've had good signals today. Maybe Murphy's resting, or maybe he's got COVID. We hoped. Anyway, Martin, just quickly, yes, I've got a number of helicrafters. When I was growing up, I was 12 years old when I became interested in the hobby. It was 1968, and an old Scottish radio ham. He was my he was the guy that really taught me everything I knew at that stage. And Andrew Mochen, ZA6CC. And he had an Helicrafter SX96, and that was my dream radio. Many years after he had passed on, a chap who restored them and collected them, and I don't know what happened, but he was needing a bit of cash. Gee, there's some big signals running up and down. Woohoo! That guy's really strong. Anyway, he contacted me and he said, look, don't want to buy a whole lot. That'll help him a lot. And so I did. I paid premium for it, but I wanted to help the guy. So amongst some of them, I've got the HD37, the S40A, the SX96, the SX99, SX101A, S85, and the HD46. Those are what's basically on the shelf at the moment. I've still got some others in the workshop. Another SX96. So, yeah, this poor guy's having problems with his power, battling to set it. There he's off again. Anyway, so I think I've answered that. And Mike, yes. Oh, hello Dave, G8GKQ. And anyway, I don't know if he's watching our thing, but nice, lovely bulletin you put out, a booklet, which I downloaded the other day. Beautifully done, as per usual. So if you're listening, Dave, Well done, kudos to you there. Right, with that, I shall sign and bid everyone on frequency a happy week. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you, Ed, we have a thing called ladybirds, and at our repeater station, for example, which is at our telecom station, you open the door, you get thousands of these ladybirds. Something about the RF must attract them. And you won't believe it, this week we had a rather serious break-in. Luckily, not one of my 2-meter or my DMR repeaters were touched, or the cavities or anything, but there was a repeater on top of ours which was badly damaged, and cables were ripped out, stolen. Just terrible, man. Anyway, that's what happens, I suppose, in this world. But we're back on frequency, so all well. We had a short off yesterday afternoon while the guys replaced main cable. Right, to you, Saro, VU3 OBS, ZA6YI, saying cheers, enjoy the week. See you guys next week.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gary. Thanks for coming back. There is no new joiners on our list, and nobody not pinged on the chat window also. So thank you very much, all my friends. I am going to stand by for a couple of seconds. Anybody want transmit or say something on the list, peoples, please go ahead. I will be standby.
Thought I'd just quickly pop up and say thanks for answering the question, Gary. Let's put that back on. And of course, very good afternoon to you, Chan, VU3FMM, and Krish. Good to see you too, VU2ELD. So that's nice. And yeah, Chan, I prefer the new sized picture you've got today. It's a bit easier to see you there. And well done for getting up in the traditional dress. We should all try that one day. I don't know what. I don't think I've got any Morris dancing clothes, which seems to be something traditional of English people. I'm not Scottish, so I can't wear a kilt. Maybe a bowler hat and a.
Yeah, just calling in to say 7-3 everyone, G0MJW, for those who can see me. Have a good week, and catch you next week maybe. G0MJW.
Okay, very nice. Just to say hello to, just to say hi to Chan and Krish. Nice to see you on the DATV today. Thanks for joining. Also, thank you Mike and Martin for clarifying regarding the bullseye LNB. Interesting. Maybe I'm gonna order one to test. Very interesting. I used to modify my own LNBs. I remember I made ones with a 0.5 ppm, and that was not good for the narrow band. That's why I was wondering about the 2 ppm, but that's fine. You guys experienced that, and it seems good. So maybe I'm gonna order one just to test it here. All right, hey Saro, thank you. That's great to know that only Pluto can drive the PA. That's exactly what I was looking for, to avoid preamps and other kind of cascading amplifiers. So I'm very anxious to put this on the air and make some tests. Who knows, next DATV net I'll be able to to be already running the VU3 OBR amplifier here. So thank you everyone, have a great week, and see you all next week. 73, bye bye from Papa Yankee 2, Romeo November.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ed and Mike and Martin and Gary. Thanks all my friends. There is a nice net today. Happy to see Gary again. So this is Qatar Oscar 100 worldwide DATV net, started at 13 UTC hours. Now the net going to end now. I say my thanks to all my friends who joined the net, and also there is many people watching through the YouTube live stream. I thank all my friends there also, and also I thank Qatar Amateur Radio Society and AMSA DL for given opportunity to using the fantastic satellite. 73 is all of you. See you tomorrow. See you in the next Sunday, 13 UTC hours on the same worldwide DATV net, my dear friends. So 73 is all of you. Bye bye. Greetings from India.